Elena was a girl of striking beauty, though she was unaware of it. Her life was simple, woven into the quiet rhythm of a small town. She worked at a bakery, rising before dawn to knead dough and bake bread, helping her family make ends meet. Every morning she greeted the sunrise with flour-dusted hands. Every night, she fell into bed exhausted. That was her life. Steady, predictable, unremarkable. But one day everything changed. A young man named Louis stepped into the bakery. His name carried weight in the town, for his family was wealthy, their lives adorned with cars, houses, and influence. Everyone knew the grandeur of his last name. Yet Louis came alone, unassuming, and asked for a single chocolate muffin. The next day he returned, and the day after that. Soon whispers rippled through the town. Why was Louis, the heir to riches, frequenting a humble bakery? Was he lost? In trouble? Louis was neither. He was captivated. He began asking Elena questions, gentle, curious ones. What do you like to do? Do you read books? Do you love music? Elena, puzzled by his interest, hesitated. Why are you talking to me? She asked one day, her voice tinged with suspicion. Louis smiled, his eyes warm. Because you're not like the others. Those words lingered in Elena's mind. What did he mean? What was he searching for? 2 weeks later he said something that stunned her. I think I like you. Elena froze. She was a baker's daughter, her life bound by simplicity. He was a boy of privilege, his world far beyond her reach. Was he joking? But the next day he said it again, his voice steadier. I think I like you a lot. Now Elena's heart was a storm of confusion. Her mind swirled with questions. Could a rich boy truly love a poor girl? Would his family ever accept her? Was this real? Or was it a fleeting dream destined to crumble into a nightmare? She didn't know the answers, but something had already begun. A spark that would change their lives forever. At first, their connection was a secret, blooming in quiet moments. They talked in the bakery's back room, shared stories, and laughed over small things. It felt special, felt real. But secrets, like shadows, rarely stay hidden. One morning Louis didn't come. 2 days passed, then 3. Elena's heart grew heavy with worry. Had he forgotten her? Had she done something wrong? On the 4th day he returned, but his face was clouded. My parents found out about us, he said, his voice low. Elena's heart sank. She listened, silent, as he continued. They're angry. They told me I can't see you again. Why? Elena thought, her chest tightening. What did I do? Louis's next words were grim. They said if I stay with you they'll cut me off. No money, no school, no place in the family business. Elena's world tilted. She wanted to cry, but she held herself together. Then Louis said something reckless. I don't care. I want to be with you. But Elena wasn't reassured. Fear gnawed at her. If Louis chose her, he'd lose everything. His future, his security. "You don't need me," she said, her voice trembling. "You need your future." Louis's eyes locked onto hers. "You are my future," he replied. Those words were sweet, but they carried a dangerous weight. Now everything was complicated. Louis faced a choice. Love or wealth, Elena or his family. And Elena grappled with a painful question. Should she let him fight for her, or walk away to save him from ruin? There was another shadow looming, one neither of them saw coming. Someone else was watching: Claudia, a girl from Louis's world, rich and poised, who had always wanted him for herself. Their families had long imagined them together, their futures entwined. But now Louis was slipping away, drawn to a poor baker's daughter. Claudia's jealousy burned. She wasn't just angry, she was afraid. What if Louis truly loved Elena? What if he forgot her forever? Claudia began to scheme. One day she strode into the bakery, ordered a coffee, and fixed Elena with a cold stare. "You don't belong with Louis," she said sharply. Elena said nothing, but her heart raced. Claudia pressed on, her words like daggers. "He has a future. You don't. Do you really want to destroy his life?" That night Elena couldn't sleep. Claudia's words echoed in her mind. "You don't belong. You're a problem." Doubt crept in. Maybe Claudia was right. Maybe she should let Louis go. The next day Louis arrived with flowers, his face bright. "I want you to meet my friends," he said. But Elena's resolve wavered. "Maybe we should stop," she whispered. Louis was stunned. "Why?" he asked, his voice breaking. "Your life is full of big things," she said. "Mine is small. You'll lose everything because of me. I don't want that." Louis stepped closer, his voice firm. "I already told you, I don't care." But Claudia's voice still haunted Elena. "You are not part of his world." Things grew darker. Louis's father took drastic measures, stripping him of his car, his money, his phone. "If you want to live like a poor man, go ahead," he said. Louis, now with nothing, walked to the bakery, his face weary but determined. Elena's heart ached. "He's losing everything, and it's my fault," she thought. "This isn't your fault," Louis said, as if reading her mind. "This is my choice." But Elena felt no relief. She began to think of leaving, of sparing him further pain. Meanwhile, Claudia spun a lie, telling Louis's parents that Elena was manipulating him, chasing his wealth. Louis's mother wept, believing the deception. Louis was furious. "That's not true," he shouted, but his parents turned away. Now trust was shattered. Elena doubted herself. Louis doubted his family. And Claudia, watching from the sidelines, smiled. But fate had other plans. Despite his losses, Louis refused to give up. He walked to the bakery each day, his determination unshaken. Elena, however, was fading. Her smiles were rare, her words few. Her heart grew heavier with every visit. Should I let him go? Should I protect him from me? She wondered. One night, Elena made a decision. She wrote a letter, her hand trembling as she penned the words. You have a big future. You don't need me. I don't want to be the reason you lose everything. I love you, but I must go. She left the letter on the bakery table and slipped away. The next morning Louis found it. He read it once, then again, his face unreadable. Without a word he left. That same day, Claudia's parents hosted a grand party, attended by the town's elite. Claudia, radiant in a beautiful dress, told her friends, "Tonight Louis will be mine again." But Louis never appeared. Far from the glittering lights, he was walking to the bakery, not for muffins but for Elena. When he arrived, the bakery was closed. He waited outside, the letter clutched in his hand. 2 hours later, Elena returned for her bag. She froze when she saw him. "Why are you here?" she asked, her voice shaking. Louis handed her the letter. "You don't decide for me," he said, his voice steady. "I decide. I want you, not money, not parties, not lies." For the first time in days, Elena felt a flicker of hope. Back at the party, a revelation unfolded. Louis's mother discovered a voice message on Claudia's phone, one Claudia had forgotten to delete. In it, Claudia's voice was clear. "Elena is just a poor girl. She's no danger. I'll scare her. She'll leave him. Trust me." Louis's mother listened in stunned silence. Then she turned to her husband. "We made a mistake," she said. The next morning she did something extraordinary. She walked into the bakery, where Elena was cleaning the counter. Elena's heart stopped. Will she demand I leave Louis again? She thought. But Louis's mother's face was soft, not angry. She placed a letter on the counter, the same goodbye letter Elena had written. "Louis gave me this," she said. "He loves you." Elena stood frozen, unsure. Then Louis's mother spoke again, her words reshaping everything. "I found a message on Claudia's phone. She planned it all. She lied to us, said you were using him. But you were trying to protect him." Elena's mind reeled. Was this real? Was she finally believed? Louis's mother continued, her voice steady. "We were wrong. I was wrong. I judged you for being poor. But you are rich in something we don't have, honesty." That day, Claudia's lies unraveled. The voice message spread, reaching her friends, her family, her school. Questions swirled. Did she try to tear them apart? Was it all a lie? Claudia, silent, left town a week later. But the greatest surprise was yet to come. Louis's father, a man known for his unyielding nature, walked into the bakery. I want to talk to you both, he said. Elena's nerves tightened. Louis stood quietly. Then his father spoke, his voice softer than expected. When I was young, I loved a girl like you. My father forbade me to marry her. I never forgot her. I don't want to make the same mistake with my son. Elena and Louis exchanged a glance. Was this real? His father continued, I don't care if you're poor. You're honest, and that's what this family needs. The tides had turned. Those who once opposed them now stood by their side. The bakery, once a place of quiet routine, brimmed with hope. 3 months later, Elena and Louis were still together. Not in a grand house, not surrounded by wealth, but wrapped in peace. Louis began working at the bakery, learning to make bread, cakes, and muffins. People came not just for the food but for the story. The rich boy who gave up everything for love, the poor girl stronger than money. Some doubted their story. Some whispered it wouldn't last. But Elena and Louis paid no mind. They were happy. Louis's parents visited every Saturday. His mother always said, I'm proud of you. His father, a man of few words, one day looked at Elena and said, Thank you for not giving up. Warmth bloomed in Elena's heart. Then one day, Louis's father handed him a letter. Inside was a single sentence. The family business is yours if you still want it. Louis hesitated. Elena smiled. You don't need to choose, she said. Now you have both, a new future and me. Louis shook his head, his smile wide. No, he said. We have a new future. Elena looked around at the bakery, the people, Louis. She remembered the day they met, when he asked for a single chocolate muffin. Now they had love, respect, trust, things no one could take away. Claudia was a memory. Her games and lies dissolved. Some still said their love wouldn't endure. But every morning as Elena opened the bakery and Louis turned on the lights, they knew one truth. Love had won. Not because it was easy, not because it was perfect, but because they chose it every day. In the end, Elena learned something profound. Money can vanish, but love endures. Real love isn't about gifts or grand houses. It's about choosing each other, even when the world says no. It's about finding someone who sees you, not for what you have, but for who you are. And that, Elena knew, was stronger than lies, fear, or wealth. If you're ever faced with a choice like theirs, ask yourself, what makes my heart full, even when my hands are empty? That's the answer that matters.